Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today I have a brand new Kansept knife. It's a prototype that they asked if I want to check out, and I always like giving my opinions on the knives that haven't reached the market yet. And this one is called the whatever that Hazakara, whatever. And the model is T1019C2. And I'm guessing this is going to be like a sort of a budget line for Kansept. And I like seeing that because a lot of people can't afford the more premium models. And a lot of what I say today is going to be dependent on the price point to this knife. I don't know the price point, and I don't know the blade steel. That also is going to be highly dependent on, the things I say. This knife is a collaboration design with, let's see if I can get it to show in that stonewash. Come on. Max to Chuck, something like that. And I knew I had recognized that logo before, and I have a Kubi knife with that same designer, so that's interesting to see. And this is not a small knife by any means. You have an overall length of 8 1/8 inches long. You have a blade length of 3.5 inches, so nice full-size EDC. You have a grip area from here to here of 4.25 inches. You got a nice slender profile or thickness of 0.42, and a nice slender profile in this dimension of 0.42 inches. 0.86 inches wide, and not overly thick blade stock, 0.11. And it ranges around 18 to 20 thousandths behind the edge, so not terrible. Would I have liked to see it thinner? Of course. I would have liked to see, like 0.08 stock and, 10 thousandths behind the edge. But, I know they try to play it, on the error on the side of caution, so then I'll get a whole bunch of knives back for warranty. I understand that. Let's take a look at the blade. I like that overall, kind of like an upswept blade shape. Kind of like a, what is it called? Like a sway, not sway back, but can't think of the name. It might come to me in a little while. But pretty attractive. They got a nice stone wash on there. I like how their logo is very minimal right there. It's not bad. That's the model number, the T1019C2. And like I said, the maker's mark. And I'm guessing that is the name right there, the Hazakura. Got a nice swedge up here that is fairly symmetrical on both sides. Came screaming sharp. Like I said, I don't know the blade steel. I would love to see some like 14C28N or some 154CM. Those would be excellent depending on the price point. I love how the blade completely buries into the handle. It gives you that nice slender form factor. This is a front flipper design. As you can see, the tang sticks up right there. You don't have anything sticking out on this side. And let's check out the action. A nice snappy action. This is riding on ceramic bearings and a ceramic detent. You get a nice purchase up there. Very nice. You do have some jimping up top that, as far as jimping, if you like jimping for traction up here, you're not going to get a whole lot of grip because those jimps are rounded. But I don't really care for jimping at all. You do have a little sharpening cutout right there, sharpening choil, and it's done nicely. You don't have any flaring at the back of that edge. Close it up. You have just standard hardware. You got T8 here on the pivot and T6 on the body. You do have a lanyard hole right there. You have this very attractive crushed carbon fiber. It does have a good bit of voids in it, but that's usually the nature of the beast with this type of carbon fiber. I've seen some really high-end knives with the voids like that, and it's too much of a labor-intensive process to fill in those voids at a budget price point, at least. So I don't know if they'll be offering other handle scale materials or not. I think it looks nice. They also, being that you have this nice carbon fiber, they didn't slap one of them, cheap spring clips on here. They added a black titanium, milled titanium pocket clip that works well. Let's check it out in a pocket. Got our pocket right here. It hugs the side of the pants, goes in nicely, and it disappears as far as coming all the way to the side of the pocket. You got all that rest of the pocket to use. It sits fairly deep, and it's black. It's very unobtrusive, and then you can grab at the top of that pocket clip and pull it out with no problem. It's very lightweight because of the carbon fiber. They do have, I'm not good with front flippers. They do have inset stainless liners that have been skeletonized, as you can see there on the show side. And I like how they inset them into the carbon fiber. So just gives it an added class. You do have a titanium blackened little back spacer right here. So it's pretty much all flow through construction. Ease of access to that lock bar. As you can see, they have a little cutout right here, and they have the lock bar chamfered right there, so it's nice and comfortable to disengage that lock. It's easy to get to it. It is tip up, right hand carry only. Sorry about that, lefties. Fairly comfortable in this grip right here. Your hammer grip's fairly comfortable. And your reverse grip where this curve right there is nice and comfortable. But you definitely don't want to be doing any stabbing with this because you don't have any guard there, so you could possibly slide up on that blade. Let's see. This would make for a great like office carry if you wanted to carry like a full-size EDC, being that it's going to have minimal footprint in the pocket and it's contoured scales. But let's check it out with those carbon fiber scales and the skeletonized liners. Let's see the weight on this. It feels nice and light for an 8-inch knife. 2.75 ounces. Wow, that's light. Way under that ounce and inch. This is a 3.5-inch blade here, people. So very, very nice to see. I like if I'm gonna carry a big blade, I like it to be nice and lightweight for the size. And this one really does it. I love how that carbon fiber shimmers in the light, no matter, whatever direction you move it. Very, very nicely done. See if you can do the reach around on this. Yeah, you can do it. It's a little bit harder. The detent is dialed in just right. That's a make or break for a front flipper, in my opinion. If you have any detent slop, it'll make for a bad action. Or if you have too soft of a detent, you won't get a good flip, and if you have too hard, it'll be absolutely miserable to flip. Let's get a size comparison real quick. Here's your Ontario Rat Model 1, and as you can see, it's fairly close. It's fairly close in size to the Rat Model 1. You have, if you look at it from here, you have more cutting edge than the Rat Model 1, and you have a smaller handle, so they're fitting as much blade as they possibly can in here, and you're not having to worry about coming in contact with it in either the closed position or the tip in the closed position. It came completely centered to me. Like I said, good action. Overall, I'm now intrigued with Kansept Knives. I have one of their higher end models that if you haven't seen the video yet, that's coming really soon. but I would definitely be interested. Now, I got a few nitpicks and complaints, and like I said, these are mostly in merit to whether the price is right on this. Definitely would have to know the price point and the steel to, be able to gauge on whether it's a good buy or not. But if this is indeed in their budget line and they're going with all the, extra materials, and they go with a decent, stainless steel, even with a D2 would be fine. I think at the right price point, this could be a good seller for them, especially if that attracts you. Of course, the voids, if it's not in a good budget price point, the voids, are not that acceptable. But if it's in a budget form factor, I'm okay with it. You only see them in, this HD picture quality and in the lighting, when you're shining it in different lighting. Let's see. And another thing that I don't really know the fix for this. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't know. They would have to put more handwork into it. And if this is a budget blade, I understand. But you can see how thin that piece of carbon fiber is right there. I mean, it's thin, and it's got a nice 90-degree edge on there. See it right here? You hear that? And that can be a problem in two different ways. I was using this knife the other night, and when I was squeezing down on here, whenever I would let go, I was like, something's hurting my hand. And you can see that line right there. That right there digs into your finger. Your fat of your finger will go in between those two right there, and it can be pretty uncomfortable. Now, I know, they're contouring this, and they had to leave that pocket for that liner. So at least they don't have anything sharp right here that you feel. And I guess the only thing you can do is kind of like hit it with, I don't know, some sort of buffer or some sandpaper or something. I don't know. But it's just the way the contouring comes down, and then the pocketing that they do it. So I don't really know the fix to that, but I did notice it when I was squeezing down really hard. Now, I was able to do a good bit of cutting before it started to bother me. And depends on your hand size. Your finger may come up in the front like this, and you may miss it altogether. But the way I sit like this, where that little cutout is, I sit right there whenever I'm in the hammer grip, and I do feel it. Other than that, I think they're doing good things. Their premium models are starting to speak to me. I like the fact that they are collaborating this soon to the inception of Kansept Knives. That's a big plus. But let me know. Give me y'all feedback, because I'm going to send this video to them so they can check out, y'all thoughts and y'all feelings on this. What blade steel y'all would like to see. I don't know if they've already produced these or not, but, if they did a second run, they could change something. So definitely let me know down below what you would like to see, what you think a fair price point for this, and just be honest, think about some of the other knives you have with these type of materials and stuff, and what type of blade steel. Would you rather see a D2 or a 14C28N as a stainless? Like to hear y'all thoughts down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Share it with all your friends and family and your social networks. And I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.